Hey guys, so usually, lately, console peasants have mainly been making videos about each other. And with that I mean that it's mainly PlayStation fanboys shitting on Xbox. Mainly it is because they're upset that Microsoft is making way better decisions than Sony right now. Like they bought Bethesda and they made Game Pass and they didn't raise the price for games from 60 to 70 euros. But today I actually came across a video from a console fanboy claiming that console is better than PC again, and I haven't seen a video like this in a long time, so let's get into it.
You know, I harp on the Sony guys because of their low IQ and because of their allegiance to a box that is, by definition, anti-consumer, supplied from a company who does not give two shits about its end user.
Yet your allegiance lies with a box that really isn't that different. Like, I know that Xbox has been way better than PlayStation recently when it comes to being more pro-consumer, but they're still trying to fuck you over. Like when they tried to double the price of their online service from 60 euros to 120 euros a year. By the way, I also love how this entire video is just a still image of the thumbnail. I love how you're sharing your talent with us. Amazing. How creative.
And I harp on the Nintendo crowd because they've pledged their allegiance to outdated, antiquated franchises that barely prop Nintendo up into relevancy in the year 2021.
Yeah man, Nintendo is shit. That's why their console has been continuously outselling both Xbox and PlayStation ever since the Switch came out. And their franchises are probably more relevant now than they have been in the past 20 years or so. But yeah man, they're totally shit and irrelevant, mate. Like Nintendo has some of the most universally recognizable franchises, which literally try to change their mechanics and gameplay for the better each and every release. Like no Mario game or no Zelda game is the same as the last one. Unlike something like Gears of War, where every game since the first one is mechanically the exact fucking same.
Both of these groups of fanboys are completely low IQ idiots who make irrational, illogical, impulsive financial decisions.
You know what's funny? The amount of times that console peasants perfectly describe themselves in their videos is incredibly large. Like, how unself-aware can you be?
But the more I think about it, there's an even bigger group of scumbags, an even bigger group of elitists who make even worse financial decisions than those two groups combined. Ladies and gentlemen, the PC master race.
Anyway, I'm very excited about what he has to say about us. He says already that we make poor financial decisions, which is weird since PC gaming in literally every way, except for one, is cheaper than console gaming. The only way it's more expensive is the initial price of a PC versus the initial price of a console. But again, it depends on how much money you want to spend on the PC.
Oh yes, your PC master race. Where to begin? Where to begin with these socially inept little trolls who crawl out of their cave, leave their house once a year? My God, get some sunlight.
Oh my god, you're so funny, you should do stand-up. No, but honestly, I think it's kind of weird you say this about other people, even though you're the one who sucks Xbox's dick every fucking video you make. You unironically refer to yourself as someone who has pledged allegiance to Xbox. Like, I've covered a lot of pathetic people on my channel, but like, to say that you have pledged allegiance to a plastic box about yourself, like, what kind of a loser are you?
And you want to talk about poor financial decisions. Oh my God, these PC guys just dump more and more money into their little box so that they can get something like, let's see here, 2% better graphics than the consoles.
Okay, bro, here's some footage of Cyberpunk 2077 running on a PC, Xbox Series X, PS5, and PS4 at the same time. And as you can tell, the PC one is the sharpest one. I can actually look through the door without seeing blurry shit.
The consoles are the baseline for development. They always have been, they always will be.
I mean, sure, in the past, they definitely used to be the baseline for development, but nowadays it really depends on what developer you're dealing with. Again, Cyberpunk 2077 runs pretty much only on PC, and on every other platform it's shit. And I know console peasants will probably respond something like, oh, but Cyberpunk 2077 is a shitty game, so it doesn't matter. Well, it might be a shitty game, but you can't deny the fact that it's a visually impressive game. I mean, I guess you could deny it the same way that Turkey denies the Armenian genocide, but that doesn't take away from the facts, which is that it did in fact happen, and that it is a visually impressive game.
If you go look at something like Resident Evil or Doom played on even a PlayStation 4 Pro against a 3090, there's no discernible difference. If you got it blown up on an 8K monitor, yeah, you're gonna see a difference.
Would you look at that? It's Doom Eternal on the 3080, not even the 3090, running side by side with Doom Eternal on the PS5, not the PS4. Oh, and it turns out there is a pretty big difference and PC is better. Wow, I never expected that. Not only in visual detail, but especially in the fact that the FPS is way higher on PC than on the PlayStation 5. But FPS doesn't matter. It's resolution that really matters. But we all know that if it was the other way around and the resolution was higher on PC and the frame rates were higher on consoles, they'd be saying the exact opposite.
3090 is $1,500. You could buy 3 Xbox Series X's, and these PC guys have the gall. They think they have the fucking balls to talk about online fees when they're dropping they're dropping $1,500 on a graphics card.
I mean, to be fair, that graphics card will probably last you like what, 10 plus years? Like the 2070 came out in, I believe, 2018, and that shit is right now still outperforming the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So
finance is not their strong suit. They're addicted to upgrading. Seriously, when that 4000 series of Nvidia cards is unveiled and they start creaming their pants at the fucking thought of dropping what'll probably be a $2,000 price tag on your 4090 because Nvidia loves to skyrocket the prices of their higher end GPUs.
Addicted to upgrading? Yeah, not really. I mean, it's kind of the same as like buying a new console every generation, right? Only every 5 years. Instead of buying an entire new system, you only spend like $300 on a new graphics card. And this guy's so fucking dumb when he says that the Nvidia cards are overpriced. You know, you can just buy... First of all, I think that all the prices are fairly reasonable, and second of all, you can buy a 3090 or 3080 from a different company than Nvidia, like MSI, for a way lower price. And then again, like the only price that I would say is actually like outrageous is maybe the 3090, which is 1.5k right now. But you have to realize that the 3090 will probably last you for the next 5 to 10 years. Like I can guarantee you the 3090 will outperform the PS6 and the next Xbox.
Now I saw a guy on the Build a PC subreddit asking, he actually asked if 64 gigabytes of RAM was required or advisable for gaming in 2021. 64 gigabytes of RAM. It's like the PC fanboys, PC Master Race, can't wrap their head around diminishing returns. You're gonna dump what's probably $200 to $300 on 64 gigabytes of RAM in 2021 to play video games.
You realize that those subreddits are for people that don't know a lot about hardware to ask questions and ask for advice from people that do know a lot about hardware, right? So this guy probably had no idea what he was talking about and just assumed that 64 gigabytes of RAM would be enough.
Now, most people probably don't do that, but I see a lot of people with 32 gigs of RAM in their system. They have a 3090. They've got the freaking Threadripper. Like, my God, how much money? When does it stop? The reason that the Xbox Series X stomps the ever-loving fuck out of PC gaming and makes it irrelevant is because for one entry price, $500, a fraction of the cost of your precious little system, you will be able to enjoy 4K gaming at 60 FPS for an upcoming 7 to 8 years.
I like how you're saying that an Xbox Series X will last you for the next 7 to 8 years. Even though when the Xbox Series X came out, it already had outdated hardware since the 2070 from 2018 still outperforms it. And that's why it's not so weird that someone might spend like 2,000 euros on their PC build and get like a 3090 and 32 gigabytes of RAM like you say, because that PC will last them for way longer than 7 to 8 years. It'll probably last them for like 10 plus years. And that is also why PC is cheaper than console. Not only do we not have to pay for the privilege of using our internet, not only are games cheaper, but while the initial price of a PC might be more expensive, I don't have to buy a new PC every 7 to 8 years. I just have to buy maybe one new part for less money than an entire new console.
The value proposition cannot be understated. Now, unfortunately, the PC fan base is comprised of members with an IQ lower than their shoe size and much more money than sense. So they make their decisions willy-nilly, throwing money at these companies so they can keep jacking the prices up.
It's so weird that this is like a console fanboy telling PC gamers that they're the ones that have low IQs and are just throwing money at these companies for no reason. Last time I checked, it was the console peasants that said shit like, oh yeah man, I love spending $70 on games instead of 60. And I also just love fucking spending $60 a year for the privilege of using the internet I already pay for. It's just amazing. Like, how dumb do you have to be? And it's like, oh, but you guys spent like 1K on your PC. And it's like, no, you don't have to. Most people don't. Most people start with like a mid-ranged PC that was like $700, and then like 2 to 3 years later they upgrade one of the parts for like maybe another $300. And that way your PC will almost always stay like ahead of the consoles as well.
Of not just the high-end cards anymore. You want to talk about getting into PC gaming? Never mind the fact that we're at the worst time ever to buy a GPU and you need to spend $1,500 on eBay to get one of the 3000 series cards.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty hard to buy GPUs right now, but that's mainly because of the fucking GPU chip shortage, which is caused by the fact that a lot of people are buying the fucking GPUs for crypto mining, and that's kind of ruined the entire market, but okay.
Never mind the fact that a 1050 Ti, a graphics card from 2016 or 2017, is going for almost $200 used. You're telling people to go dump money into an endless upgrade cycle.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't owning consoles also like an endless upgrade cycle, because you're technically required to buy a new console every 5 years in order to play the new games? Which on PC you're not required to ever upgrade unless you want to. And in that case, if you upgrade, it's cheaper, because like I can buy a 3060 for $300 and my PC will outperform Xbox Series X at that point. And in the case that you spent a little bit extra money, which this guy apparently makes a really big deal out of for no reason, then you have a PC that will last you for like the next 10 years that you don't have to upgrade at all.
You know what? That's not even the end of it, because you're not guaranteed anything future-proof with PC gaming. In 2 years, the 4000 series will be out, and you'll be feeling a tickle in the back of your mind. I might need to upgrade.
No, I highly doubt that a lot of people will be like, oh, I need to upgrade. And by that point, because the 30 series already outperforms current-gen consoles. Even the 20 series, to some degree, still outperforms the current-gen consoles. So why would people be like, oh, I need to upgrade? Unless they had like some money laying around and they just really need to have the best possible performance.
Because the developers, again, this is what the PC guys don't understand. They're missing logical thinking skills that allow them to connect the dots, all right? Because the consoles are the target and the baseline, and that's where most of the population plays AAA games, upgrading to the 4090 or the 4080 or whatever yields such diminishing results, it's not worth the investment. Just like upgrading to the 3000 series is not a worthwhile investment. The 2000 series is not a worthwhile investment. The general population is not made up of PC fanboys. And I respect that. I honestly do. The general population knows this. That's why the most popular graphics card on Steam is a 1060, followed by a 1050 Ti.
I mean, sure, but that's probably because, one, they're the only cards you can buy right now because of the PCU chip shortage. And two, again, because of that shortage, a lot of people are not capable of upgrading, right? It's not just that they don't have the money, it's just that they cannot find any GPUs anywhere. And also, regardless what this fucking retard is trying to tell you, upgrading to like the 20 series or the 30 series is not a dumb investment. They outperform the Xbox Series X by quite a lot, especially when it comes to frame rate. But anyway, you guys, I feel like I'm getting brain cancer watching this, and for the next couple of minutes he just repeats what he said before in the video. Like, he repeats again that apparently, you know, games are only really developed for consoles and just ported to the PC, and they always play better on consoles, which is not true. Your precious Xbox Series X exclusives like Halo Infinite already play better on PC. That's why the only footage of Halo Infinite that we have seen during last year's E3 was played on a PC. But anyway guys, please like and subscribe. I'm watching these videos and slowly developing tumors for your entertainment, so please support my channel, and I see you in the next video. Goodbye.